Hey guys, it's me, and welcome to Trevor Miller Entertainment, where comic books, musical theater, and literature collide. Still not really feeling that as an intro, but it's the one that got the only vote. I'll probably workshop it later, but anyway, so Broadway World released their bracket for movie musical comparisons. Let's talk about, specifically my opinion on which one I think I'd vote for. In fact, went to their site and did vote for. Wizard of Oz versus Frozen. You all know which one I'm gonna go with for this one. I love both, but it also, because of this one, I put on my channel a version of this specific matchup that would be, essentially my siblings' versions. So I did Shrek versus K-pop Demon Hunters for my little brother, and Spirited Away versus Weathering with You for my sister. So if you want to go vote for those, vote on which one of those you think is better. Now would be, or anytime you want. I'm not gonna push it on you or force you to vote for the polls I did. But, anyway, you all know which one I'm voting for. I've literally done, several tributes, several videos, showing that my 4 all-time favorite movies are Wizard of Oz, Superman the Movie, Annie, and 1982, and Spider-Man 2002. In fact, if this were Wizard of Oz versus Annie, that would probably be the closest thing we were getting to the same level of epicness that Superman, Spider-Man are getting in a comic. And Frozen was on there when I was still, playing with what would be my favorites before I realized, it doesn't make any sense for me to not have Wizard of Oz, because it's basically cemented through years of history as one of my favorites. Basically, I love both. And as an older sibling myself, I love the sibling messages in Frozen. But I didn't grow up reading The Snow Queen with my mom the same way I did the Oz books. The Snow Queen wasn't the first place I would check in a library at a point in my childhood like the Oz books were. Frozen came out while I was in high school, so I didn't fuss over it not being scheduled to come on again after it was already on, like I did Wizard of Oz when I was little. Before I had the DVD, mind you. Before I had, Wizard of Oz, the DVD. I think I got it for Christmas that same year. It was either Christmas or my birthday. Anyway, I didn't go to a whole musical, I didn't go to a whole museum. I didn't go to a whole museum dedicated to Frozen's existence, like I did the Oz Museum twice when my family vacationed to Kansas. I don't even think there is a museum for Frozen. And I wasn't anyone like Kristoff or Olaf for Halloween twice, three times as of this last Halloween, like I was Tin Man. So, there's no way I was not gonna vote for Wizard of Oz in this one, as much as I love both. Wizard of Oz wins for me. Hamilton versus Newsies, I found myself going back and forth quite a bit on, because I really enjoy both of them. But I ended up voting for Newsies. Hamilton I've included up with Captain America the First Avenger and Wonder Woman 2017 as for my must watch on 4th of July movies. But I sang Newsies with my choir in sophomore year of high school, so that kind of tips the favor into Newsies. Just the fact that I've been involved with singing those songs. Les Mis versus Hairspray. Yeah, I notice this is the only one that doesn't do classic versus modern. Neither one I would consider a modern musical. They both except since we're talking specifically movies, the movie for Hairspray came out in 2007, but even that's not really modern. And also, I guess, Les Mis' movie was also, like, after. I guess, since we're talking movies, it's still keeping the classic versus modern thing. Actually, funny thing, since we're talking movies, why is Hamilton even involved? That was a filmed version of the Broadway musical. So... So, Les Mis versus Hairspray, I voted for Les Mis. A few reasons, actually. One of them actually being the same reason I voted Newsies over Hamilton, even though that one I found myself going back and forth on, which is I sang Drink With Me from Les Mis with my choir in junior year of high school. Yeah, there are a few other reasons. I feel like Les Mis is just better than Hairspray. But I like both. And then finally, West Side Story versus Tick Tick Boom. So, I just saw watched the movie version of Tick Tick Boom so that I could give an actual answer rather than I've seen West Side Story, so it takes it. I figured you guys would want a better put together answer for it. And I thought I still have to side with West Side Story. I liked both. But West Side Story just has the more... I know West Side Story is like another one of those Romeo and Juliet type stories, but it's still endearing, and so is Tick Tick Boom. Don't get me wrong, but I just was more drawn to the story for West Side Story. So yeah, but those are just my opinions on these polls that Broadway World reviewed. I'd like to respectfully hear yours. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure you like, subscribe if you want to, and if you do, turn on those post notifications so you never miss a video. Comment below which ones you would vote for in the Broadway World bracket, best movie musical bracket, and I'll see you next time. Bye!